Hey guys, just wanted to give some thoughts and comments on the upcoming Krangled Gauntlet on December 10th, I believe. Yep, December 10th. Lots of stuff has changed. The point system's different. The mods are different. The prize structure is different. There's quite a bit to go over, so let's just real quickly go through it. First things first, we got the prize structure. And before I talk about anything, I just want to preface by saying I'm going to be going over everything as if you're going for rank 1 overall, because that's what I go for in Gauntlet every time. I don't really care for anything else. Um, so obviously, demis are cool, and I can give insight or help people that want to get like reach level 90 first or 95 or whatever. Not first, but reach level 90 or 95 just to get the MTXs. But, I don't really care much about most of this stuff. I typically only really care about going for rank 1, cosmetics and stuff, I play for the competition. But yeah, anyway, first things first, we got the prize pool. And biggest change I see is that rank 1 has a huge incentive now. You get the trophy plus 12%. And on top of the 8% you already get from getting the rank 1 of the class, which is 20% overall of the huge prize pool, which is a massive improvement. And way more incentive to push rank 1 instead of just doing bounties compared to last gauntlet. Because I don't know if we can look. I don't know if I can see the standings anywhere, but last gauntlet, who probably made more from bounties than the person who won first. Just if we're talking specifically from the event, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to. It was close at least. Um, Also, rank 2 getting something is nice as well because in the past, like the first person would finish and then you would just be super demotivated, especially if you're the same class as the other person. Um, Whereas now, if you get second in a class and second overall, you get as much as somebody who gets first in a class. Or, if you get first in a class, second overall, you get more than that. So it's really nice incentive. Definitely a big fan of the change to the prize pool. They kept the focus on classes, but they also reward the top end of people who push hard to get rank 1 overall. Yeah, big fan of that. Anyway, let's look at the new mods now. So we have changed from LMP to GMP. Honestly, I don't think GMP is a huge step up from LMP for a majority of the game, not including bosses. Some bosses will be much harder with GMP. We got unique monsters 80% increased life, AoE monsters 20% more life instead of 40, but that bosses will basically just have 100% more life now, and regular mobs will just be 20. Haste, and then monsters 20% increased damage. They removed minus resistances, and they removed physis extra elemental damage, like all three types. Initially looking at this, like I'm glad I really want Gauntlet to go in the direction where the bosses are the super hard content. So in future Gauntlet, seeing more mods like this would be really nice. Maybe some other stuff that doesn't break the game that GGG is okay giving, because honestly, like it's hard to say what GGG is okay helping out with in terms of mods and like what they're able to provide, but I think bosses this time around are going to be really difficult, and I really like that, especially with some of the new bosses, new content they've added, which we'll go over in a second. Um, yeah, I really like this. However, for non-bossing the game, assuming that LMP GMP isn't as big of a change as I think it is, the normal game seems kind of really, at least the leveling and early mapping seems like it'd be really easy, like almost similar to regular league. Uh, you just won't be taking that much damage. I don't know. At least with the current builds, and like if I'm looking at this from playing Sabo, like I don't know. I think it's gonna be pretty similar to regular league. Like I've already done an Act 1 with most of these mods. Obviously not this one, but Act bosses for Sabo are never an issue, really, because you cheese them with giga damage. GMP, that could change like Malachi, maybe like a couple others, but the leveling just feels almost like regular league for me. It's pretty, and I think that the leveling and the early mapping, I think they might have toned it down a little too much in terms of like ease. But I mean, I'm okay with it as long as the bosses are challenging and super fun to watch. I think a good, like, maybe compromise if GGG would have, stepped in would be making this number right here 28% monster damage to like 40 or 50 or something, or maybe some other way to compensate for more damage without the annoyance of Fizz's Ellie, because Fizz's Ellie is just, it just scales so stupidly on some mobs, like Hydra, for instance, where you just get one shot or you don't get one shot. Just Fizz conversion is just weird. But yeah, so we're gonna have to wait and see what it's like in the event. But I think mapping and leveling is gonna be a lot easier, and bosses will be significantly harder and more ZDPS. But it's tough to say now without being able to see GMP or the increased monster life. But I'll probably have more of an opinion about that after the event. So now we get to the point stuff. Before they announced this, I gave Vyro some suggestions on what I thought the points should look like for the boss content using old mods with area effect and LMP. However, with these mods without the Fizz's Ellie, I think some of these points systems would change a little bit. Like, for example, I think Shaper should be a little harder with GMP. I think Maven should be a bit harder with GMP, and more life especially. I think Maven should be definitely more harder. Formed is a lot easier because the main issue with Formed was the physical, like, Hydra hit that would one shot you. Like, it would one shot a character with like 7k life and like 700-800 ES sometimes, like a Sabo. So, but it was just because of the weird like Fizz conversion, how it scales with the fork attack. But now that that's not in the game anymore for Gauntlet, I think it's gonna be pretty easy. I think maybe there should be less points. The hidden, I think, will still be the hardest content for sure. I think it might be a little easier with the mods. I don't know. GMP could be nuts. These ones don't really change. Uber Ziri is going to be extraordinarily hard because the Vols are going to be terrifying without being able to kill them like really fast. You'll probably have to go in there with some insane like Topaz Flash setup, like Giga Lightning Res. It's going to be scary. So I may be worth more for Uber Ziri. Uber Elder is worth like a good amount. It's going to be really hard. And other stuff is fine. Delve being at 225 cap, I think is a little easy, but I think that's fine. You'll probably find one boss by 225, so that makes sense for this. Delve bosses could be pretty hard with GMP and more life. You actually have to know the mechanics. You can't just cheese them with damage. So that's cool. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, we got like bounties that I can probably go over, but a lot of them are not in yet, so we gotta wait and see closer to Gauntlet. But yeah, we're gonna have to kind of pause champ. I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out with these mods. I think the bosses are gonna be really exciting. I expect Gauntlet to be over in like 45, 50 hours if I had to guess, like 1 or 2 sleeps for top players, assuming nobody dies, obviously. Like if me, Darky, Huwu, a couple other people just die, then obviously it's gonna take a lot longer. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you for Gauntlet. Peace.